Welcome back, everybody, to the Cleveland Cavaliers MyNBA series here on NBA 2K21 for the PlayStation 5. As today, we will finish out season number 2. We have a lot to go over today as we're going to be doing a prospect profile. We're going to be playing one of these final, I think 10 or 11 games, and then simulating the rest of the season. So, going to get this show finally done, and obviously this year hasn't gone the way we hoped for, 19-50. I would not call this season a total disaster because we have seen a lot of young players grow and improve, but I was hoping that we would improve from last year, and, well, we have not. So in today's prospect profile, we're going to be looking at big men, power forwards, and centers. I think this class specializes in big men, so we're going to be looking at a lot of really good players today. But before we do so, I do want to talk about a player who I have not talked about yet. His name is James Smith out of UConn. He's a shooting guard, and his stock has really improved this year. It looks like he's going to be a top 5 pick, so I figured I would briefly mention him before we get started. At power forward, there's a lot of good players, and at center as well. Guys who have a variety of different skill sets, so I'm excited to get this one underway. The first player we're going to be looking at today is a projected top 3 pick in this year's draft. His name is Zario Papadopoulos from Greece. He is currently playing for Real Madrid in Spain. The last time we saw a highly touted European player play for Spain before entering the NBA, Luka Doncic. Zario here is a 7-footer who can shoot the lights out of the basketball. He's a great shot blocker as well. However, the concern with him is his athleticism. He has poor lateral quickness, he's not overly fast, and he can't jump overly high. So I think that's hurt his ceiling, but he does have a nice floor. One of the more interesting players in this year's class from the University of Kentucky, this is DeKalen Savage Jr. Savage was a projected top 5 pick at the beginning of the year, and his stock has dipped a little bit. He's still going to be a lottery pick, most likely, so it's not a huge dip, but he didn't quite live up to expectations this season. He is a really good defensive player, and he's a good rebounder, so on that side of the floor, you know what you're getting. He's also a good scorer from inside the arc, great with the mid-range, and he has a high motor. However, the production was not there this year at Kentucky, as I previously mentioned, and he is also not overly athletic, which I think hurts his ceiling and hurts what he can do specifically on the defensive side of the floor. Obviously, the one-and-done rule has been abolished, so there are now high school players in this year's draft. We looked at 2 high school players in last episode's prospect profile, and we're going to look at 2 more here, the first one being Jalen Chambers from Minnehaha Academy. Jalen is a fairly similar player to DeKalen Savage in the way that he does all of the scoring from inside the arc, and he's a good scorer. The big difference between the two of them is Chambers already has an NBA body. He is super bulky, but he does need more basketball IQ, and I think he needs to be a smarter player. Let's take a look at an international guy from Canada. This is Yuto Miosley. Yuto Miosley is currently playing in the Professional League in Canada. This is a game here of the Canadian national team. He's playing for Sudbury 5 in that league. Yuto is very athletic. He is a lob threat, and he's a great scorer inside, also a great rim protector. However, his basketball IQ, like the previous player we were talking about, Jalen Chambers, is also pretty low, and Yuto does not have much of a jumper. One of the top projected picks in this year's class, probably going to go top 5. This is Vashawn Williams-Garber from Oregon. The Oregon Ducks won the national championship this season, led by the pick-and-pop duo of point guard CJ Cruz Jr. and Vashawn Williams-Garber. Williams-Garber was probably the best player on this Oregon team this year, so it says something that he's the best player on the best team. Although he does not have a jump shot, I do think it is a lazy take to say he is not a fit for the modern NBA because he's very athletic and versatile, specifically on defense, so I do think he is fit for the modern NBA. He's a beast inside, great rebounder, and I think he is well worth a top 5 pick. Probably a guy the Cavs could look at if their draft lottery luck fails them. Another international player, one of the biggest draft risers this year, is Milo Beauregard from France. He is playing for Ratio Farm Ulm. This is where Pistons point guard Killian Hayes played before he got drafted. Beauregard is a similar player to Vashawn Williams-Garber, but a little bit worse. Certainly on offense, he's not the scorer that Williams-Garber is, but he is a really good rim protector. doesn't provide great value as a scorer, and I think he's going to get overdrafted. He looks like a potential top 10 pick at the moment, and I think he's a good prospect, but I don't necessarily think he should go top 10. One of my favorite gems in this year's draft class, residing from Senegal, his name is Abdoulaye Olabunumi. Olabunumi is one of the best stretch bigs in this draft class. He's an excellent offensive player, phenomenal scorer, can score from all three levels of the floor, currently playing for Turk Telekom in Turkey. However, as good as he is on offense, there's a reason why he's going to go in the second round, and that's because he is very bad on defense, and he has to improve on that side of the floor. He is under contract for another year with Turk Telekom, so he probably will not head to the NBA until at least the year after next year, so that is something to watch out for. The final player we're going to look at today is the best player we're going to look at today, the projected #1 pick in the entire draft, Jeremiah Okoye from Hillside High School in Durham, North Carolina. Last episode, I was talking about forward Odavius Shepherd and about how he is a generational talent. Shepherd's not going to go #1, though, because Jeremiah Okoye will. Okoye is probably the best prospect to enter the NBA in the past 20 years, since LeBron James. Obviously, those are strong words, but I truly believe those words because Okoye is such a good prospect. He is Rudy Gobert on defense, and he's Kristaps Porzingis on offense. He has a chance to be one of the best rim protectors in the NBA, but he also has a great jump shot. He does not miss from mid-range. He has a dead-eye three-point shot. And for such a young player, he's also a very smart player. The only weakness with him is kind of the same weakness with Odavius Shepherd, and that is weight. Both of these two top players are very skinny and need to bulk up before they will become NBA stars. So in this draft class, there are 4 high school players. Obviously, Odavius Shepherd and Jeremiah Okoye at the top. They're probably going to go 1 and 2 respectively. The other 2 are Jalen Chambers, who we talked about today. He's probably going to be a fringe lottery pick. And then Zion Hopkins III, someone we talked about last episode. He'll probably go in the late first round. So in the first year of no more one and done, there are 4 high school players in this year's draft. So now it's time to focus on the current NBA team. We have the second worst record in the NBA, only behind the New York Knicks. Last episode was the trade deadline, and we were very busy, trading away guys like Udoka Azubuike, Romeo Luguancho, Darius Garland, Jeremy Grant, Dennis Schroeder, and we picked up a lot of new players, mainly draft picks, but we also acquired Isaiah Thomas from the Boston Celtics, not the short point guard Isaiah Thomas. This is a different player with the same name. And we also got Anthony Simons from the Lakers, obviously them along with multiple draft picks, including 2 more first-round picks this year. Looking at the numbers, Colin Sexton and Obi Toppin both lead the way in points. They are also both hurt. 2 guys who we might just shut down for the rest of the season. Cedric Garrett, he's obviously been playing point guard recently, and he's done a pretty good job. Isaiah Thomas has played really well since we acquired him. And then the other new guys, Zeke Nnaji, who we signed, and Cassius Winston, they've done all right too. So obviously the lineup looks a lot different. We have 4 rookies starting, and we still have Cam Reddish coming off the bench because Cam Reddish is just so good at that role. Cam Reddish is another guy who's played really well these past couple of months. So the game I wanted to play is this game against Golden State. So we're going to simulate these next 4. We lose to the Pistons and Magic, and then we beat the Kings and the Mavericks. We beat the Mavericks by like 22. So that's pretty impressive. As now it's time for an old-fashioned battle, an NBA Finals rematch, even though nobody who played on those NBA Finals rosters are still on the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think the longest tenured player on the Cavs right now is Colin Sexton, who was drafted right after the 2018 Finals. So nobody who was in the Finals against Golden State is still on this Cavs team as Cleveland heads out to the Bay to take on Steph Curry and the Dubs. Golden State competing for a playoff spot at the moment. Obviously, they're a very different-looking team compared to what they previously were when these two teams faced off in the finals when the Cavs had LeBron James a number of years ago. Quick layup from Steph Curry. It might be a long day for this Cavs defense. Steph Curry, one of the craftiest scorers in the NBA and the best shooter in NBA history. Arguably the second best shooter in NBA history. Klay Thompson making the 3. Here is Curry from deep, and Golden State already has 8 points in the first minute of the game. Nice steal for the Cavs. That's Cedric Garrett with it. Passes it out for Kevin Porter Jr. Over to Colin Sexton. Sexton off-balance shot, no good. But big Fafa is there for the putback. Yusuf Diafafobo, the rookie out of Senegal, makes the play. 6-8 now your scores. Here's Kevin Porter Jr. Passes it out to Colin Sexton for 3. And the Cavs are now on top. I don't know how long they're going to be winning today, but they are winning. 12-10, there's Steph Curry from 3. Hot start from Curry, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's hot all night. Kevin Porter Jr. passes it out for Zeke Niazi for 3, and he gets it. Golden State's defense has been even worse than the Cavs. That's a surprise, and Cleveland just cannot miss today. Nice lob from Curry, as it is now a 3-point game. Cleveland still up. Here comes Killa. Cam Reddish, no good, gets his own board, and gets the putback despite tough defense from Jordan Poole. Cam Reddish has been a really good sixth man the past few months, as he has been scoring the basketball like it's nothing. Steph Curry splits 2 defenders inside for the layup. Golden State now up by 2, 24-26, as Taco Fall passes it out for Cam Reddish. Inside for the slam, 7 points already for Reddish. Golden State up by 2, about 30 seconds left in the quarter, as it's Anthony Simons for the and 1. Bowman is called for the foul. The Cavs are up by 1 here at the end of the quarter. Cam Reddish over to Kevin Porter Jr. at the buzzer, and it is no good. A first quarter with a lot of offense. Both offenses are looking good early. Cleveland leads it 29-28. It's good to see the Cavs are still a competitive team, even though all they're really playing for now is draft position. Here is James Wiseman with an easy mismatch, getting the layup. Wiseman is the current favorite this year for most improved player. You know who else is in the most improved discussion? Most likely it's Cam Reddish for 3. 34-33. Cavs up as Wiseman drives past Isaiah Thomas, getting the slam. Thomas going to try to make up for that bad defensive play with a nice dunk inside. 6 points here in the first half for Thomas, who's averaging around 8 per game. Thomas now again with the slam, and the Cavs are back on top as it is 44-43, about halfway through the quarter. Jordan Poole is blocked by Big Fafa. Yusuf Diafafa-Fobo. Cam Reddish pulls up in transition and gets the 3. Cleveland up by 4 with a minute and a half to go, as it's Big Fafa posterizing Jordan Poole and friends. That was Wiseman under there as well. What a dunk by Big Fafa, and the Cavs offense continues to be unstoppable. You know who else is unstoppable? Stephen Curry, as he makes the layup. Steph Curry is continuing to cook. We're in Curry's kitchen after all. Here's Kevin Porter Jr., late 3 before the half ends, 56-51. Time almost up as Colin Sexton steps back from deep. 14 points here in the first half for Sexton, as Steph Curry lobs up the full court shot. It is no good, and the Cleveland Cavaliers lead this game 59-51. The Cavs offense with one of their best performances of the season. Reddish with 15, Sexton with 14. Meanwhile, for Golden State, Steph Curry trying to put the team on his back. He has 29 points, including 19 in the first quarter. Curry steals it early in the second half, but Big Fafa sends that ball to outer space. That was Eric Paschall going inside for the layup, but Yusuf Diafafa-Fobo had none of that. Here comes Cam Reddish with the quick poster. Reddish onto a hot start here in the second half after a big first half. Reddish now passes it out for Cedric Garrett for 3. Garrett already has 5 points in the third quarter after only having 5 points in the first half. 66-55, Golden State could use a bucket. When in doubt, give it to Steph Curry. He makes the 3. 10-point lead for the Cavs as there's Cam Reddish for 3. Reddish continuing to dominate, but Steph Curry answers right back, saying what you can do, I can do better. Back to being a 10-point game, 71-61 with 5 minutes to go in the quarter, as here comes Cam Reddish inside. He's blocked by Wiseman. Reddish has only missed 1 shot before that, and then in transition, Steph Curry for 3. And I wouldn't be surprised if Golden State comes back here at this point. Steph Curry is red hot at the moment, as if he wasn't already hot. Curry misses, gets his own rebound over to his splash brother, Klay Thompson, for 3. 75-67, what a dunk for Reddish, who has 28 points now. Reddish has been dominant here in the third quarter. His career high is 31, and he should break that with ease. However, Steph Curry is still making his shots. Steph Curry's career high is 54. He has a legit shot to break that tonight. 79-72, Reddish is being double-teamed. That means somebody's wide open. That somebody happens to be Anthony Simons. 82-74. Nice floater by, guess who? Steph Curry. As it is now a 5-point lead here for the Cavs. Jordan Poole inside for the layup. Good quarter for Golden State as they cut the lead down to 3. Can the Cavs get one more bucket? As here is Reddish for the dunk. That's his career high. 33 points in only 3 quarters for Reddish. As Isaiah Thomas lobs it from full court, it is no good. And the Cavs lead this game by 5, 85-80. As this continues to be an offensive outpour, Cam Reddish and Steph Curry are dominating at the moment. Nice layup for Jordan Poole to open up the fourth quarter. With Steph Curry out, somebody's going to have to step up. It looks like that somebody's going to be Jordan Poole. I mean, Curry's only going to be out of the game for a few minutes until he's back in, but apparently Jordan Poole has just decided to go full Curry mode as he starts the fourth quarter with 8 points in the first minute. 89-88, Cavs up as here's Kevin Porter Jr. for 3. Andrew Wiggins caught sagging off on defense, and Porter responds. Porter over to Big Fafa, passes it out for Colin Sexton from deep, and the Cavs are just not missing from 3 tonight. I mean, this offense has been as good as I've seen it all year. Here's Eric Paschall, the former Villanova Wildcat, for 3. 97-93, Cavs up as Cedric Garrett drives inside for the and 1. Paschall is called for the foul. Now it's 197. Isaiah Thomas with it. Over to Sexton. And that one is a green release. Tough shot by Sexton, but it goes in. Colin Sexton has 22 points on the night. There's Steph Curry for 3 with about 2 minutes to go. 105-100 is your score at the moment. All the Cavs have to do is hold on and keep feeding Cam Reddish the basketball. Reddish now with 37 on the night. Can he make it 39? Yup. Back-to-back dunks for Cam Reddish. Cavs up by 9 with about a minute to go. And, I mean, if Steph Curry just heaves up shots all night for the rest of this game, Golden State can still win. Curry, ensuing possession, actually misses it, but the one time Curry does miss, James Wiseman gets the putback. 111-107. Here comes Cedric Garrett on the fast break. He goes for the dunk, but is blocked by Wiseman. Huge stop for Golden State. Curry for 3, no good. I do not know why he took that off-balance shot there, but okay. So here's Cam Reddish to the line. He goes 2 for 2. Reddish now with 41 points on the night. Warriors need a quick bucket. Klay Thompson gets the 3, cutting the lead down to 3. This game is not over. 114-110 now. Curry misses the 3, and Isaiah Thomas grabs the rebound and is fouled. Steph Curry now is fouled out of the game. Isaiah Thomas would make 1 of 2, 115-110. There's Wiseman for 3, cutting the lead down to 2. However, Cam Reddish makes both 3 throws. Cam Reddish continues to be clutch. All the Cavs have to do is not foul as Klay Thompson misses the full court shot. That's how this game ends. A nice win here for the Cavs. 117-113. Steph Curry and Cam Reddish both dominated tonight. Curry with 57 points, which is actually a career high for him. I did not think it would be a career high, but at the same time, I mean, Steph Curry was insane today. He also broke his career high in field goals made, field goals attempted, and three-pointers attempted. So, what a day for Steph Curry. Cam Reddish also with his career high, 43 points in only 18 minutes of action. He also broke his career marks for field goal attempts and field goal makes as well. However, the supporting cast for Reddish was better than it was for Curry, and that's why the Cavs got the win. Speaking of Cam Reddish, can we just talk about how much improved he's been this year? Only averaging 2.5 more minutes per game, but his numbers, specifically his scoring numbers, have massively increased. Reddish is 5th for most improved player behind Wiseman, Tyrese Halliburton, Killian Hayes, and Marvin Bagley. So it's good to see Cam Reddish getting some well-deserved recognition because he's been really good, specifically these last few months of the year. So we have simulated all the way up to the final game of the year, currently 23-58. We are locked in for the second projected overall pick. The Knicks are like 3 games behind us, and I think we're 4 games behind who's ever next, I believe Utah. The Lakers pick will be projected around 10, and the Pelicans will be based on how they do in the playoffs. We end up losing that game to the Heat, meaning we finish the year 23-59 as we look at the awards. MVP goes to Doncic. Rookie of the Year, Cassius Calvin, the number 1 overall pick. Devontae Graham, 6th Man of the Year. Giannis wins DPOY, and James Wiseman wins Most Improved. No Cavs on the All-NBA teams, not a surprise. No Cavs on the All-Defensive teams, again, not a surprise considering how bad our defense was. But we do have Cedric Garrett on the All-Rookie First Team and Yusuf Diafafafobo on the All-Rookie Second Team. So it is good to see those guys, specifically Garrett, getting the recognition that they deserve. So next episode, we got a lot of things to cover. We're going to go over the playoffs. We're going to go over the entire season, do a season recap, and we're going to do everything in the offseason before the draft. That includes the draft lottery, so that should be fun. I'm out. Peace.